So I made a video on 21's album, The American Dream, that if you haven't checked it out, I highly suggest if you want to. I'll leave it in the description down below. But another album that came out on the same day was Kid Cudi's album, INSANO, an album from the legendary Kid Cudi that hasn't released an album since The Man on the Moon 3, being the last project he released was the Intergalactic soundtrack, which I did talk about. But in this video, I'll be focusing on this 2024 project, INSANO, and I'll be going over my thoughts and discussions about this album. So like, subscribe, follow all the socials, and without further ado, let's get it. So when it comes to Kid Cudi, he always was an artist I can really respect, as when it comes to projects and his sound, he delivers classic tracks that were part of my childhood, example of this being Day and Night. And he handles projects that have been pretty good in the past, being the most notable is the Man on the Moon series. And then you have albums like Speeding Bullets to Heaven, which was kind of received really poorly, and some other projects along the side that he's been working on. And with this project, I remember listening to it after I just listened to 21's American Dream, so I wasn't expecting too much to get out of it. And going back into the album, I think this album is good to an extent. I just don't think it's his best project. It's a good little vibe to listen to, but as for like overall his project, it's not really his best project, obviously. It's not bad as of like a Speeding Bullets to Heaven or excellent as a Man on the Moon, but it's overall a good album. I do think 21 tracks is a little bit much, as some of the tracks here I think should have been left off, as some of them are just not just okay for me personally, or some are just eh. But some are good as hell, and some have a little bit of replay value to it. And some of the songs, like I mentioned, are pretty okay. Some are pretty good, but overall, like I said, I think this album's pretty vibey and it's really good. And with this album, it gave a lot of trap beats sort of sound with Cudi's harmonizing to some, which I really enjoy. And some of it gave remind me of an Astroworld in an extent. And similar to Astroworld, I do enjoy a lot of the features it brings. Starting with the first track, often I have these dreams with DJ Drama with the start of the track, giving me like a drug-like beat that to me personally I'm not sort of wowed about or sort of impressed. It's not DJ Drama's best beat, but it's certainly good, but it's nothing to stand out really or out of the ordinary. But then you get songs like Keep Bouncing. This one's pretty cool, kind of speaks for itself, a space trippy and bouncy beat that I like. And then you get Off Me with Travis Scott. You know, Travis obviously being a really well feature on Kid Cudi's part, and this track I really like. And with the Travis feature, I personally prefer this, and I personally actually prefer this over the track that we'll talk about later. But then next track we got is Most Ain't Dennis. You get songs like this, Wow with ASAP Rocky is pretty good, which are pretty like cool, but it's just not for me. You got Most Ain't Dennis like to talk about, like Tale of the Night, Cud Life, and Get You Gone, to name a few that I'm not going to talk about much in the video because it's not really much to talk about, but I'm saying some of them are pretty cool. But like I mentioned, one thing I do find enjoyable is the features off this album, like such as with ASAP Rocky, Travis Scott, like I mentioned earlier. We got Wayne on 7, even though his verse was kind of short, I do think it's kind of cool, and Thug on Ranger Boys. And even on Kid Cudi's part, there were some things that on his album regarding like beats and lyrics that I found good, like a Electro Wave Baby with a upbeat sound, you know what I'm saying? Having this like, I don't know, it just had like an upbeat sort of hype, like a little vibey little sound with Cudi humming in the beginning. And then you get Too Damn High featuring Lil Yachty. And this is another one, kind of reminds me a little bit of Day and Night, kind of a little bit, with the ad-lib sounding a little bit like it, with a bunch of other classic tracks from Cudi. And with Pharrell's beat, which I thoroughly enjoy, with a Travis feature, is pretty good. Like I said, I personally prefer this one over Get Off Me, because I think Get Off Me is pretty good and better in my opinion, but Too Damn High, or not Too Damn High, At the Party is pretty good. And then you got Mr. Cola or Kula. This one's okay for me. Just kind of wanted more out of this track. I think it's just okay. Freshie then has like this like dark thumping track with the intro being like a rolling mouth. I think the intro actually is like a rolling loud moment where he got booed off stage, which was really disrespectful, by the way, from the crowd. But regardless, still a good to okay track. Same with the next one, Tortured. And keep in mind, all this is my opinion, of course. You know what I'm saying? If you like some of the songs off this album that I find okay, you know what I'm saying, it's cool. Music is subjective after all. And also, I'm not going to go over the Nitro Mega Deluxe version mode on this album. But if you want me to, let me know, and I might make an exception and listen to it on my own. And then maybe in a video I might talk about it. But getting back on the album, next we have X and Cud, which I find personally to be my least favorite off the album. Not only because do I find the song okay, but XXXTentacion's verse is pretty much his verse off the Orlando track from his album 17. And as an X fan, to be honest, I thought I was low-key gonna expect more. But now that I think about it, looking back at it, I should have probably not gotten my hopes high considering what his labels did to him dirty with his like posthumous albums, with like albums like Bad Vibes Forever, which they just money cashed him basically. And honestly, I probably should have expected that coming from like an X feature. But anyways, it really got me wondering what Cudi wanted to do with this verse and what made him want to collab with XXXTentacion on this. But continuing on, we got track number 17, Fuck You Wizard Smoke, a smoky sort of trap like beat, and with Cudi's bars I do thoroughly enjoy. And then we get another one, which is track 19, Porsche Topless, which is nothing too crazy. Then we get Blue Sky, which personally to me I think is the best off this album. Has like a positive upbeat with Cudi's bars being a positive energy it brings, and this song is like really good. I really do like it. The beats, the lyrics, it's all positive and it's really good. And then we have the last track, Hit the Streets in My Nikes, which I enjoy personally. Probably my most replayed song outside of Blue Sky, Electuate Baby, and Get Off Me, and a couple others. But I do enjoy this. It feels... I like the song, don't get me wrong, but I do feel like Blue Skies would have been a better outro than this, but this is still a good track. Again, one of my most replayed values out of this track, but pretty good. And overall, I do enjoy this track and this album. Some songs I like more than others, but this is a good album. I do feel this is going to maybe grow on me for a couple of years, but as an overall, I think this is pretty good. And also, props to the album cover. The album cover is also pretty cool in itself. I heard apparently Cause and Glassface did the art cover of this, and Cause has always been an artist, figurative designer that I do really respect and is really good at what he's doing. But other than that, INSANO is a good album, in my opinion. And I respect Cudi's work in some of these tracks. I really do like the project. It's pretty good. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know what y'all thought about this. And if y'all like this, you feel me, like, subscribe, follow all socials. I'm out here, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace.